excellence. It's a word we throw around a lot, but what if I told you that it's not just for the elite few? Today, we're diving into Dr. Jonathan Chuma's Symbols of Excellence, because it's flipping our understanding of greatness on its head.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. What exactly does Dr. Chuma have to say about excellence that's so revolutionary?
Well, he breaks it down into these symbols: integrity, resilience, passion, discipline, vision, and accountability. But here's the kicker. He argues that excellence isn't some innate talent, but a mindset we can all cultivate. It's pretty empowering stuff, don't you think?
That is a refreshing take. So many self-help books make excellence seem like this unattainable goal. How does Dr. Chuma suggest we start cultivating this mindset?
He starts with integrity as the foundation. It's not just about following rules, but living by them, even when no one's watching. In a world where we're constantly hearing about scandals and ethical lapses, this feels more relevant than ever. You know, a study by the Ethics Compliance Initiative found that 33% of employees observed misconduct in their workplace in 2020. That's a third of the workforce.
Wow, that's a staggering number. It really underscores the importance of integrity in our daily lives. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here, doesn't prioritizing integrity sometimes come at a cost? Like, couldn't it hold you back in competitive environments?
That's a great question, and it's one Dr. Chuma addresses head on. He argues that while integrity might seem like a hindrance in the short term, it's actually crucial for sustainable success. Think about it. Would you rather work with or buy from someone you trust implicitly, or someone who's known for cutting corners?
When you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. Trust is the foundation of any lasting relationship, personal or professional. So, what about the other symbols? You mentioned resilience, right?
Exactly. Resilience is all about bouncing back from challenges and persevering through adversity. Dr. Chuma frames failures as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. It's not about avoiding hardship, but learning how to navigate through it. And get this, a study in the Journal of Personality found that resilience is actually a learnable skill, not a fixed trait. Isn't that encouraging?
Oh, that is encouraging. It means we can all work on becoming more resilient. I'm curious, how does Dr. Chuma suggest we build this resilience?
Well, he emphasizes practice and self-reflection. It's about facing challenges head-on and learning from each experience. He also talks about the importance of maintaining a growth mindset, believing that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work.
That ties in nicely with another symbol you mentioned earlier, discipline. I imagine that plays a big role in developing resilience and excellence overall.
Absolutely. Dr. Chuma calls discipline the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's about delaying gratification, establishing routines, and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. He actually cites a fascinating study from the University of Pennsylvania that found self-discipline is twice as strong a predictor of academic performance as IQ.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. It really challenges the notion that success is all about natural talent or intelligence. So, how does Dr. Chuma suggest we cultivate discipline?
He emphasizes the importance of time management and prioritization. In our age of constant distractions, it's crucial to focus on what truly matters. He recommends techniques like the Pomodoro method for improving focus and productivity. But he also stresses that discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about consistency and getting back on track when you slip up.
That's a relief to hear. I think a lot of people get discouraged when they can't maintain perfect discipline. Now, you also mentioned passion as one of the symbols. How does that fit into the excellence equation?
Well, Dr. Chuma describes passion as the fuel that drives excellence. It's what gives us the energy to push through challenges and find joy in the process of improvement. And this is key, he argues that excellence requires focusing our passion on a singular purpose. In a world that often encourages us to be well-rounded, that's a pretty bold stance.
That is an interesting perspective. I can see how focusing intensely on one area could lead to deeper mastery. But doesn't that conflict with the idea of work-life balance?
That's a great point, and it's something Dr. Chuma addresses. He's not saying we should neglect other areas of our lives, but rather that true excellence in any field requires a level of dedication and focus that's hard to achieve if we're spreading ourselves too thin. It's about finding that sweet spot between specialization and maintaining a well-rounded life.
I see. So it's not about becoming a one-dimensional person, but rather about channeling our passion effectively. What about the last two symbols, vision and accountability?
Right, so vision is all about seeing beyond the present moment and imagining a better future. Dr. Chuma argues that without a clear vision, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind and lose sight of why we're working so hard in the first place. And accountability? Well, that's about recognizing that excellence isn't achieved in isolation. We need others to hold us accountable and push us to be our best selves.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So how does Dr. Chuma suggest we apply these symbols in our daily lives?
Well, that's the beauty of his approach. These symbols can be applied in various aspects of life. In the workplace, integrity might mean being honest about mistakes. In personal relationships, passion could drive you to be a more attentive partner. In education, resilience might mean persevering through challenging courses. The key is to consistently strive for improvement, learn from failures, and maintain our integrity along the way.
You know, when you break it down like that, excellence does seem more achievable. It's not about being perfect, but about embracing a mindset of growth and improvement.
Exactly. And that's why I think this book resonates with so many people. It's not about becoming superhuman or achieving impossible feats. It's about embracing a set of principles that allow us to make the most of our potential, whatever that may be. And in doing so, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the betterment of our communities and society as a whole.
Well, this has been a fascinating discussion. Dr. Chuma's approach to excellence certainly gives us a lot to think about. Any final thoughts as we wrap up?
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is that excellence is a choice we make every day. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And the impact of that choice extends far beyond our own lives. So, I'd encourage our listeners to reflect on these symbols of excellence. Which ones resonate most with you? Where do you see room for growth in your own life? Remember, excellence is a journey, not a destination. It's about consistently striving to be better, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us.
That's a great way to end our discussion. It's been fascinating exploring Dr. Chuma's symbols of excellence and considering how these principles can be applied in our daily lives. Thank you for this insightful conversation.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this exploration of excellence. Until next time, keep striving for excellence in all that you do. This is Gen FM, signing off.